All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krueg Show with a little 49er video. Make sure you check out Pig and a Pickle. Best barbecue in Northern California. They're in Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week in Marin County, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., and they're open Wednesday through Sunday in Emeryville. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. All right, let's talk a little bit about our first impressions of Dee Winters. Dee Winters is an interesting player. The Niners took him in the draft out of TCU, and what a player he is. Interesting story. He, was a really good athlete in the state of Texas in high school. He was a 4-year varsity letterman in high school, helped Burton High School to an 11-3 record his senior year. And he saw action on both sides of the ball, but was utilized primarily as a wide receiver in high school. He was named the District 13 2A co-most valuable player as a junior, and he totaled over 1,100 yards receiving and 18 touchdowns. He chose TCU over Arkansas, Texas Tech, Northwestern, and Arizona State. And then freshman year, 2019, he played in 11 games with TCU. He started against Purdue and SMU. He was 9th on TCU's team in tackles with 28. And then sophomore year, 2020, he was 2nd on TCU with 66 tackles. And he also had 9.5 tackles for loss. All 9.5 tackles for loss came in the final 6 games. He started 10 games. Real good player, and he's always been a productive player. And then junior year, he started 12 games. He led TCU with 74 tackles. He was 3rd on the team in tackles for loss with 5. Really strong junior year, and just a tremendous football player. And then senior year, 2022, he had a great year, and TCU had a great year with Max Duggan at quarterback and Sonny Dykes, the head coach. And what did they do? They rampaged college football, and they wound up in the college football playoff. And there he was in the national semifinal going up against Michigan, and he was the best player on the field. He had 7 tackles in the game. He had 3 tackles for a loss. He had a 29-yard pick 6 and a pass breakup in the win over the Wolverines, and got the Horned Frogs into the national championship game. Just a really good football player. Played in the Senior Bowl after his final year in college, but he was first team All Big 12 in 2022. He was the AP first team All Big 12 linebacker. He was the defensive MVP of the college football semifinal win over the Wolverines. And just a really good player. He wore 13. He's from Brenham, Texas, and went to Burton High School in Texas, but 6'1", 230. Now, I just saw him in the minicamp, and in the minicamp, he, they list him at, 5'11", 227 pounds. He looked like he had maybe 5 or 10 pounds of bad weight. Like maybe he had put on a little weight towards the end of the year or after the end of the year. But this guy ran in the combine 4.49 at close to 230 pounds. He's got a 1.56 10-yard split, very, very quick, 30.5-inch vertical, good lower body explosion. And he's one of the top athletes in the country in high school. TCU wanted him to play linebacker, and he amazingly, he just stepped right in and was productive right away. And he's a versatile linebacker. This guy can play inside. He can play outside. He's not a take-on guy. He's not going to take on blockers as much as he's going to run. He's a guy that is an undersized backer who needs to be kept free. You need to have the big bodies in front of him to keep him free. He lacks ideal size, so he wins with his play speed and his aggressiveness. He reads and reacts, and there's no hesitation in his game. He attacks the line of scrimmage. He's not bad dropping into space as a coverage backer, but man, this guy can really bring it as a blitzer. And I think he's going to be great as a guy who can run and maybe do some delayed blitzes from the will linebacker spot. He's kind of a weak side backer. He's got great instincts. He's got great feel. He plays inside. If you can protect him with your front four, he's a big time player. And he's a guy who started both inside and outside. And, he keeps his knees bent. He's got a ready posture. He understands how to play at the same pace of the running back when the running back's picking and sliding down the line of scrimmage. He'll shoot gaps, and when he sees it, as I said, no hesitation. He shoots into the backfield and makes plays. He goes low, and he'll take you off your pins and knock you to the ground. So I really like him as a guy against the run. I also like him as a delayed blitzer, and he explodes into his tackle attempts. He definitely is a smaller guy, so he's not going to stand up against guards. He's going to get kicked out. He doesn't take on a lot of blocks. He really runs around and not through. But man, what I love about him is that he plays so fast. When you see this 4.49 time, he plays every bit as fast as that. So when he sees it, he goes. And he makes plays against the run, but he also can be an effective player against the pass. I think he's far better going forward than he is going backward, but I still think he's a player that can play coverage. The Niners are loaded at linebacker. Some people compare this guy to Dre Greenlaw. You can see that Dee Winters has a lot of talent, and he's got a lot of athleticism. And, at 5'11", 230, he's going to shoot gaps and make plays against the run, and he's just really, really solid. So I would say overall, my first impression of Dee Winters is this guy's electric. He's super fast. He knows how to play linebacker. He's got great instincts. He's in his playbook. He's in his game plan. He watches his film. When he sees what he wants to see, he doesn't hesitate. He lets it go. And he makes tackles in the backfield. So I can't wait to see him. I thought he showed up at the minicamp a little heavy. I expect him to show up in training camp in better shape. And I would be shocked if Dee Winters wasn't flying all over the field in the preseason, making play after play after play, because that's what he does. He makes a lot of plays. He's a productive linebacker who's got great instincts, great speed, plays low to the ground, is always ready to strike, will hit with force. He'll knock you back. But what really makes him special is that he can make himself small and squeeze through cracks. So all of a sudden you'll see there won't be a hole, and then this guy will come firing through, and he goes low and he brings you to the ground. So really good football player. I think he's going to be an outstanding pro. I think there's a chance he's a better pro than he was in college. And remember that name, Dee Winters. He will show a lot this summer in 49er camp. That much you can take to the bank. All right, thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krueg Show, and thanks to all of you for supporting the Krueg Show on YouTube.